Google, like, I do a lot of like business work in like Google Calendar, and you would think Google would be like on their shit, but if you set your location to Phoenix, it just like it does not change with you. So like half the year I need to go through and like change my time to like LA.
Dude, I've been to Arizona one time.
Oh yeah?
Years ago, I have family out there. I felt family in Gilbert, I think.
Yeah, that's in like the greater Phoenix area.
Yeah. But I've been to Phoenix. Like I had family in Phoenix, and the only family that lives there now is Gilbert. And I actually, for a long time, I wanted to move there because I thought I was going to go to school there.
ASU.
Yeah, and then I heard it was a big party school, and that's not. I'm at home recording a podcast on Discord, so clearly that's not not my vibe. But
there's some fun party spots out here.
Yeah, I'm not. Dude, I had a friend in high school who her whole plan after high school was to like get fucked up and have sex after like in college and like party in college. And I was so blown away. I was like, people actually like want, like, I was like Jersey Shore, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that is like not real. That is not realistic at all.
You have to have a certain level of stamina to keep up like partying like that. I try because there's like a certain level of my life where it's like I want that for myself, but like, and I am that sometimes, but then sometimes I have like a lot of like anxieties and whatnot that prevent me from being that person.
Yeah.
And so it's like there is kind of a disconnect there. I can only do it like once a week, like once or twice a week, if anything.
Yeah.
But like, I know people that's their life.
No,
and it sounds fun on paper, but as young as I am, I'm too, like, I don't want to say I'm too old for that because I'm really not, but like my body feels that way.
How old are you?
I don't know.
25?
I'm 23.
23.
About to be 24. Yeah.
I'm 26, and I've done a few like the specific like high school like bar club things that they do specifically for young kids so they can kind of experience that vibe. Yeah. I did like 2 or 3 of those in high school, and I was like, this shit sucks. I mean, that's like
a pretty lame.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. Everybody stunk. It was like 18. It was like 18 plus events where like. It's either like chaperoned by like a school, or it's more of like you can maybe smoke a cigarette, but like there's no drinks. Like I'm not saying you need a drink to have a good time in those places, but like when no one is, like it's kind of a mood killer.
Yeah, dude, everybody stunk like shit there because high schoolers, that you start, you don't know deodorant knows until you're like, what?
Yeah.
14, 15.
Yeah, back in the era of like everyone just showering in Axe body spray.
Right, exactly. Dude, I got to tell you a story. You want to hear a funny story? Holy shit. That is such a good...
Is this the start of the show? We're just waiting on this dude?
Oh yeah, at this point, I don't give a shit. I don't think he cares either. Dude, check this out. Great story. I love it. I had the idea for a podcast, and I wanted Sean to be my co-host originally, but I'm like, he already knows everything. Like telling a story, he'd be like, oh, you already told me that. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, it's perfect. Okay. So years and years ago, I used to go to this, like, it was like a little, I don't know, you could consider it a show, I guess. It was like a little indie band would play on stage. It was a bunch of like people high schoolish age that would hang out there. And I was obviously single, clearly. And I thought it was going to be like getting girls, as a stupid, 15-year-old, whatever, like 20, 15-year-old.
You have an image in your mind of who you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And no cap, no joke, straight up, sprayed Axe body spray right on my asshole, so I made sure I didn't smell. That shit burned like I just like a searing hot. It is apparently very acidic, and your asshole is apparently very, very sensitive. Fun fact. Yeah. So I sprayed it on my ass, and I didn't go. I was like, I hurt myself. I actually hurt myself.
Did you like know anyone there, and you were very genuine about your excuses? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't show up. I hurt my asshole off. Yeah.
No, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't going with anybody. That would have been funnier if I was, but no, I wasn't going in with anybody.
You tend to not have a sense of humor at a young age in those moments of humility, right?
Yeah, right, exactly right. Yeah. We started a few 5 minutes ago, and you were gone, so I thought it would just be funnier if you came in, 5 minutes in.
And it was just completely unexplained.
Should I go back out? Should I come back in?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait for the no. So
no. This is all part of it. No, you need to get out and then come back again.
All right, here he goes. Okay.
This is uncut, by the way.
So by the way, you'll notice when Sean sits back down, he only has one shirt in his existence ever. Like it's the only shirt that he ever wears.
It's like a cartoon character. Yeah. Where they just do it for continuity's sake.
Yeah, literally, it's almost exactly like that. It's a fucking cat lifting weights.
I'm thinking if I tie it like this, just swing it in and out of focus.
Yeah, there he goes. He's farting. He's pooping. You guys hear my dog? So back to my asshole. I was just telling Zach the story about how I sprayed Axe body spray in my asshole before that. I'm sure I've told you that story before.
Yeah, I've done some similar stuff. Like I didn't want to shower and I was going to go on a date with Haley, so I took Irish Spring deodorant, put it in my underwear, and it was the most awful idea.
Did it hurt?
It itched for days. I don't know for days.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are very cool.
Thank you.
Sticking shit in
I'll do the deodorant up here or somewhere else, but no sensitive tissues.
Dude, yeah, well, did you know that stuff absorbs in the testicles 40% faster because it's thinner skin and there's a bunch of blood vessels around there?
That makes sense. It's probably a good place to inject heroin.
Dude, yeah. That's a good thought. You know what's funny? Yesterday, I you know how when you're in the shower and it's a hot shower and your balls are all stretchy? I just realized I can make a cup in my balls and drop the water. That shit is fun as hell. I just went like that and I just dropped the water and it went all the way up to here. And I just was able to all that. I meant to ask you before, Zach. Have you been watching the Halo show?
No, I have not. There's a few different reasons why I have not. Number one, I hear it kind of blows, which is not a good selling point when you hear everyone in the Halo community saying that it blows. Yeah, Master Chief is not a virgin. I got the funniest notification on my phone. Because I have a Google phone, and I don't know if if an Apple, if an iPhone does this, but it's synced up to give me news updates for stuff it wants. It thinks I want to hear about, and I just got I think it was Polygon, but maybe I'm getting the publication wrong. I just got a notification on my phone a day or two ago, and it just said, Master Chief just had sex.
Yep.
And that was it. That was which I know was a thing, but it was the funny, and I knew it already happened before, but it was the funniest thing for me to be cooking a whatever, and my phone pops up. And it's I like the idea of remember when Donald Trump tested out the presidential alert system and everyone got a notification.
In October 2018,
I like the idea. I like the idea that several years ago, an app similar to that was set up where every American gets notified when Master Chief has sex, and he's just now, it just now happened, and we all got the alert. But no, also another issue with the Halo TV show is that it's on Paramount Plus, and I have zero intention of creating a login for Paramount Plus.
So what's funny about that? Okay, so there's a few points that I want to hit there. So the reason that we do this late our time, so it's 10:30 for us, is we have a whole party. We had a party of 7 people watching the Halo show. We do it every week because it's trash. First week we thought it was going to be good.
Well, making fun of TV shows is the only way you can get me to watch a TV show at this point anyways.
Yeah, so. It's hilariously bad, and it's a kind of like a community thing where we all hang out and just shit on the show. Dude, today they had the sex scene, but it wasn't it was obviously really, wasn't really much of a sex
Cortana
scene.
Get cucked?
Dude, Cortana watched. She watched.
So she's sad.
Dude, she was literally sad.
It was so interesting. I was like, why would you even include her? Obviously she needs to know about it to some degree for the plot point, but why would she's just
watching the heartbeat stuff too. Their biosigns are synced, and it's I don't need to.
Just watching Chief clap cheeks, dude. It's fucking insane. And so
that's gotta be funny though. Because he's probably never done it.
Well,
he's
that would be hilarious. I think I would actually pay money to watch the scene of a virgin Master Chief struggle to figure out how sex works. That sounds he's nervous.
It's literally a scene. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He's like, what do I do? And she kind of takes the lead. But
I like the idea. Master Chief throughout all of Halo picks up on skills like that.
Yeah.
He's the master of everything, and then it gets to women, and he's just like does not compute.
He's clueless.
Yeah.
No, our buddy Brian, he just kept saying, apparently this is true to like the main Halo lore, is that the suit will jerk you off, so you don't have that, like, I think, like the sexual
canon
stuff. Yeah. And he kept saying, he was like, the suit jerks him off. The suit jerks him off. He shouldn't be horny.
Someone had to pitch this in the writers' room, by the way. And they're like, how does this work? And then someone had to go, what if the suit, which we've all thought of before, I guess, but like a writer had to pitch that to a room full of other adults, and then it had to go to like business executives, and they all had to sign off on like the suit jerks him off. Right.
I'm just fucking clueless. I don't understand. So, so dog's barking again. So, so we watched the episode. It was fucking hilarious, by the way. It's just funny every week. We all just like are just cracking up at it. And I think that like Buddy Evan, who you probably end up meeting, I think he like actually we want to take it kind of seriously because he wants to get the story, at least, even though that it's kind of like a trash. He wants to get the story and stuff. But we're all just shitting on it relentlessly the entire time, dude. It is such a good time. It is so fun. But it's bad. Bad.
I think a large part of why I probably wouldn't like it too is because I'm a long-standing like Halo fan.
Yeah.
And I think the writers of the show were pretty vocal about like not even playing the games and not really giving a shit about the story of Halo. And so I could imagine for someone like if my dad watched it, he might like it because it's just a genuinely good show like on its own. I don't know that it could be objectively horrible as well. But like, I don't think it would even get a fair shake in my mind too, because like I know what Halo is supposed to be, and it's almost certainly not that. And so you're picking your mind, you're picking out like I don't want to be the guy like, oh, but you had to read the books. Not that I read the Halo books, but like I don't want to be that guy for the Halo show either. Although what was the thing? Didn't have like a Chevy Tahoe in there or something that they tried to justify?
Apparently, I don't remember seeing it in the actual episode, but apparently there was some like
I think they removed it because the justification was garbage.
Yeah, the justification was real trash.
It was in the trailer, and then people caught, there's a Chevy Tahoe in the trailer, and then there was a news article I saw that got published being like, actually, there's a purpose for the Chevy Tahoe in Halo, and everyone was like, what the fuck is the purpose for the Chevy Tahoe in Halo?
I don't think it was like a. I think it might have been removed because I don't remember seeing it at all, but.
But that first episode was great because they literally kill a bunch of civilians and then just like mission accomplished and walk away.
Yeah, the first episode, like it was good and bad. Like it was like, okay, this could be like a weird dark turn on Halo because literally first 5 minutes you see these kids from this planet disembodied, like completely destroyed, and they're like, oh, that's cool and dark, and then it kind of just ends up sucking. But The thing I had an issue with it too, because I was like, I don't know if I want to watch after episode 1. But I was able to suspend Master Chief from this fucking guy that's just clapping cheek. I was able to make that separation, and as soon as you do that, it's fine. Totally fine.
Yeah, I think I was very upset by like the voice is like a big thing, right? Where like we all know Master Chief's voice is like kind of the defining, like the only thing that really makes him, and so to have a different voice be Master Chief is kind of not great, but it might end up helping in the long term because you can more easily separate the show Chief from the game Chief because they just sound completely different. I don't know if that's true. That's me talking out of my you-know-what, but still.
They also just show his face episode 1, which is interesting. I mean, I feel like that's like you'd want to kind of lead up to that, kind of like the game does, you know what I mean? But no, it was episode 1, he just took it off. It was funny because you were joking, like, what if he took it off and there was just another one?
The thing is, I feel like they
like the glitch,
they kind of had to do that because that's how they would differentiate themselves from the game. You know what I mean? Like they kind of had to be like, no, we're doing it differently. He takes his helmet off all the time. People know what he looks like.
Yeah, they set the precedent early.
Yeah,
because they had the chance in the very beginning where they're like, most of the so they start with a bunch of like civilian slash what's the word, regular people, but with they had guns.
Nailed it. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. And they were talking about, I could fight off how many U.S. and Marines and stuff like that.
He's on a streak. He's nailing it again.
The rebels, right? That's what
the rebels.
Resistance. I don't know.
Yeah, and but they were talking about how so most of them had not seen any Spartans, so they had the chance to be like, oh, Spartans are like this novelty thing that you rarely ever see. But then it's like 4 Spartans drop in, they take their helmets off, everyone dies.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's a modern day work of art. My fucking things are writing up so high. Yeah, it's a modern day work of art for sure. You've been playing Halo Infinite though, I saw.
Yeah, I've been playing it. I have a pretty I've been playing it. I've been playing Halo Infinite.
You have a complicated relationship with the game?
I do have a very complicated relationship with Halo Infinite, and my opinion of it compared to my friends is maybe a bit more positive than them, but I certainly have a ton of issues with the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, obviously, I'm a massive Halo dude.
You're Master Chief.
Yeah, I am actually the one from the show.
Master Chief.
But Halo Infinite, I think that everything besides the gameplay is bad. That's my opinion. I think the gameplay itself is great, and then like navigating menus. Like the shop,
the menu system's horrible. System's horrible.
It's all crap. Besides the gameplay. I know people are like desync, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, okay, to a degree, I get that. Those are bugs that are fairly annoying. But to me, the gameplay loop, just of like big team battle, that's just fucking rad. That's just fun. That's just like
big team battle's not my main thing. Big team battle certainly lacks a lot of content too. If you're a big fan of it, has the least amount of maps, the worst game modes. But like, I do enjoy the gameplay of Halo Infinite a lot. The only issues I have with the gameplay really is, and maybe this is a bit nitpicky, but like player collision is an interesting thing where like, it sounds like a really nitpicky thing off the top because it's like, oh yeah, you don't get to jump on your friend's head and everything. But like, I do think that's a little bit important for Halo gameplay, but more importantly, it affects like the melee system, right? So when two players are like walking towards each other, it's totally possible to assassinate someone from behind while facing them in the front by walking through them and hitting. It just doesn't really quite make sense. I think player collision's a big one. The plasma pistol is just not worth your time. There's a couple other things, but that's really only it. I enjoy how the guns work and the movement system and the maps. They're all pretty good.
I mean, I feel the same way. Obviously, people are like, I have a distaste for most like Halo YouTubers because they all are kind of just
very apologetic.
Yeah, and the thing is that they're clickbaity, they're bitchy, and you're good. They're clickbaity, they're apologetic, and they just annoy the shit out of me, dude. They just annoy the shit out of me. There's a certain guy that always fucking just complains about the game, and I'm like, okay, fair. There are problems, and I'm completely understanding of these problems, right?
Some stuff is just unacceptable.
Some stuff is just unacceptable, and I agree with that, right? But I can still hop on with the boys and have an enjoyable time. And I feel like, I mean, maybe I probably am the minority in that, I guess, because the game's obviously the player base is dropping off. But I don't know. That shit pisses me off. I'm like, and like my brother, he's a competitive Halo Reach player. My younger brother, right? Whoa! Don't mess with him.
Play a siren really quick. Big name alert. Don't need a name drop like that.
He shits on Halo Infinite. He just calls it a bad game, just like flat out. And he's frankly used to Bungie.
It's interesting because Halo Reach is like one of the most like divergent Halo games that exist.
I know. That's kind of what I was telling him. And he was like, everybody that likes it now is going to dislike it in a month. When the beta dropped, when it like first came out, which ended up kind of happening, and then obviously over time people are just starting to shit on it because of the lack of content updates. But I still play it and enjoy it, and he'll walk into my room and just tell me to stop. He'll just walk into my room and be like, "Stop playing this. It's not good." And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. He's like,
I used to know someone that, like, not to interrupt your story a whole lot, but I play Madden every now and then, and I get it's like the most recycled, like, here, pay $60 and eat your pile of shit, nerd, like type of system, whatever. But I used to know someone that just would constantly, like, every single time I would talk to them, give me a hard time and like berate me for still playing the game. Let people do what they want to play.
It's true. I mean, I'll shit on people for playing League of Legends every day of the week, but I ain't going to nobody's door and knocking on and be like, stop fucking playing. No,
you play Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, I play so much fucking Pokemon. Adam will walk in my room and be like, "Why are you still playing this?" And it'll be a different Pokemon game.
Okay, but Adam plays fucking Cookie Clicker or whatever the fuck.
He has,
nine Tetradecillion or whatever.
He has a lot of cookies in Cookie Clicker. I'll tell you what.
That you can make fun of.
Yeah. But he made an argument that pissed me off about Halo, and it's because it's incorrect. He was like, the only people that are still playing are competitive players. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
No, it's just incorrect. No.
Yeah. And I'm like, he's like, because they play.
If anything, it's the opposite.
And that's what I said. He was like, it's just, longevity, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? How does that make any sense? And his point was that, like, obviously a competitive player is going to keep playing the game to get better at the game or whatever, some dumb argument like that. And I'm like, no, the casual player is going to enjoy it because it's going to be more likely to be spaced out. You know what I mean? I haven't played Infinite in like a week and some change. I might play it tomorrow. I'm still playing it though. I'm still like, and my first battle pass isn't even done. I haven't even finished my first battle pass. I mean, I'm just taking my time with it. I'm still enjoying it.
With the lack of content and how far paced out they are, it's definitely one of those games like you get into playing for like a week to a month and then fall off playing for another like 2 months and then get back into it. It goes in cycles. I could make this whole thing about Halo. I've talked at length, at nauseum about Halo and Halo Infinite like already. It's just there's just a few things in it that, again, just I don't know why were done the way that they were done. And it's really the main thing that was disappointing for me too is like, I suppose the split screen is whatever, but the Forge not being there at launch, I get it's supposed to be a larger Forge system, but to me, like my favorite memories in Halo were always like community creations. And then the biggest problem this game has is a lack of content. And in the modern era of Halo, the 343 series of Halo games, they've not a single one of them has launched with proper like capabilities of user created content, which is what most Halo fans I think like enjoy. And again, I get that it's taking a long time, but to me, like if a Halo game was done correctly and launched with a proper platform for user created content, I don't think you would have this. Even if those problems exist, I think they would be like the opposite of multiplied, divided by like 100.
Oh yeah. I mean, as soon as the custom games browser came out for MCC, that's all I was doing.
Then like everyone's forgotten about, and not everyone's forgotten about MCC. But like the mainstream audience is now lost on that aspect of the game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate too because I think people played MCC as like a gateway into Infinite, waiting for Infinite to come out, expecting this massive content. And to a degree, I did that. I mean, I obviously just like the games, but to a degree, I did too. I was like, oh, dude, we're gonna play a fuck ton of Halo Infinite, so let's play a fuck ton of MCC, just fuck around in custom games browser. And then you can't do custom games. I mean, you can, I guess, in Infinite, but it's really bare bones. You obviously can't do Forge. And then the co-op campaign, which is probably my favorite part of Halo as a series, is not there, and it keeps getting delayed. Which, I mean, I get it. I mean, COVID is obviously fucking people over. I am totally understanding.
You can game design from home. I don't know what that is.
Well, I guess you could.
I imagine there's some restructuring you would have to do, but it is an industry that's more work from home friendly than like, I don't know, a restaurant. Yeah.
Here's your tea. Yes. I love Halo Infinite. I love the gameplay loop of Halo Infinite, but I just wish that I mean 2 maps for season 2. Dude, Fortnite, I'm just going to say it, and I hate making this parallel. I played a lot of Fortnite in 2017 to 2018. They were pumping out updates every fucking week. and obviously probably much I don't know, but probably a much bigger company.
Rick and Morty Halo when.
What?
Rick and Morty Halo when.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. No, but obviously probably a much bigger company. I know there was management hell allegedly at 343. Totally get that, but like there has to be a workflow issue if a company like Epic Games can pump out basically weekly updates to Fortnite, and a company like 343 that is backed by Microsoft can't
not even user content every week that has like skins or something in it like that either.
Right. You know? And the only thing that's like rotating weekly is the cash shop, which is like, okay, if I want to be a whale, I can spend the money. I mean,
I be a Halo Infinite Battle Pass whale.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
totally crashed the Halo Infinite user economy.
I mean, I've bought like, I think maybe 5 things on the shop ever. Like, so the thing that they're updating weekly, I'm not even using, because I mean, I'm not going to,
you didn't download the game to buy stuff.
Exactly.
It's not why you decided to play the game. Right. I think there's a massive disconnect between the people actually developing like the game, quote unquote, like everything surrounding like gameplay and like, all of that style of direction, and then the people who are in charge of like platforming and like marketing the game. Yeah. I have a funny feeling that those people, like, first of all, whoever designs their infrastructure sucks, because every time a new Halo game gets released, it always just is broken. You know what I mean? Like whoever's QAing that is like the worst in the business. Like the Master Chief Collection launching was genuinely the most. I know I said the word unacceptable a few times beforehand. The way the Master Chief Collection launched is just genuinely the most unacceptable state of a game I've ever seen get launched. You couldn't even play it. You couldn't even load a game. I don't know how anyone it was not a server issue either, because when I initially downloaded the game and I tried finding a game, I was like, oh, maybe the servers are broken. I'll wait a day. And then a day, and I was like, maybe this game is just still so popular that it's still crashing. And then like 2 or 3 days go by, and you still can't load into a game. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you load that file up knowing that it needs to get released tomorrow and go, yeah this is okay. Let's push this out.
Dude, I played fucking MCC. I don't know. I didn't have an Xbox. Evan, my buddy Evan, same guy, had an Xbox One, and I was so hyped, dude. I was like, I'm happy, because I was kind of like, at the time I was kind of worried that they were going to keep, they might remake like Halo 1, 2, and 3. They did Anniversary. They ended up doing Halo 2 Anniversary for MCC, but I was like, oh, they might just, remake them. But the original forms are really important to have. And I was kind of like, that sucks if they're going to leave them in the last generation. And clearly they didn't. And I was really hyped about it. And then we tried playing. And me and Evan and I didn't really have much of an issue getting into games. We were split screening. We didn't really have much of an issue. I mean, it was like, it's definitely much faster now, even with the much smaller player count. But it was like max 10 minutes to get into a game. And I think that happened like once or twice. And we played for like a whole day. Yeah. We didn't have much of an issue.
I think I had a problem where I was struggling to even load into like campaign. Like, really? I think it was like that bad where like, I don't know. And I know other people that had the same experience too, where like the game just straight up didn't work for like a month or two.
Yeah. I was not an Xbox. I mean, I was an Xbox 360 kid, and that next generation, I much more prefer the PS4. I didn't have an Xbox One until like 2 years ago. I just have it for collector's sake, not even to use it. But yeah, man, the few times I was able to actually play it again in like full HD 60 FPS, it was awesome. But I do remember, now that you're mentioning that, I do remember having some issue with campaign. But regardless,
just stuff wouldn't load. Like again, the servers were broken. From my personal experience, you could not find a game, and I'm not exaggerating, for like a month or two. Like you just could not load into a game. Campaign would work sometimes, but like it would just crash, and like it would struggle. Like I struggled to complete the campaign in full. Just with the thing, they completely overhauled it. Like I'll give them credit now. Like it's honestly kind of impressive how they've built it out to this point. Again, I still don't think that excuses anything they did before, but like I love the system of oh god, this is pissing me off too, juxtaposing it to like Halo Infinite, because Halo Infinite sucks the way that there's all of this content that we know is there that's just not in the menus, and then you have to search for each thing individually on its own. Yet comparatively, the Master Chief Collection has one of the best matchmaking systems in all of video games, where like you have all of the options that you want. Like the idea of like picking any different Halo game and loading into it in one major queue of matchmaking is such a cool idea to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that it now works perfectly with like custom games browsers on the side and everything is just I don't know, that is really cool to me.
Dude, I actually would really like to hear your opinion on this. So season 7 of MCC came with a few extra armors.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, so I'll just say, so I liked them for the sake of customization. I wasn't overtly. I know a lot of people, friends of mine, most of my friends of mine, were very against using them, and they would put on the classic thing. And I totally get that, because you want to kind of keep that classic feel. But I was like, to me, it doesn't really bother me that much if I'm playing fucking Jenga. I don't really care if someone's has like a fur coat. And there's a few of the skins that I was like, this actually would add to my Spartan more than anything.
I have a ridiculous looking Spartan afterwards. I have like the dinosaur feet and like the witch doctor mask. It's ridiculous. So I just went off crazy on it.
You liked it. You liked the update.
I think it's a little silly, but I like stuff that is silly and absurd. I just like not taking life or that much seriously. So it's for me, it was whatever. I hear both sides of the argument, and I think for a legacy game it makes sense to have that option, that toggle, which they did not have when they launched that season. So I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't have an issue with those wacky armor designs they put out. I thought they were fun and silly, and it didn't ruin anything for me. But I do think that like in the newer games, I don't know if I care for some of the armor designs and options that they have. Like, so some of it just looks kind of lame. Like, I still to this day can't find a shoulder piece that like looks cool without like finding and buying an entire armor set in the store.
In Infinite,
it's a little upsetting.
Dude, I was so excited when I saw the Fracture Tenrai event announcement, and I saw, because like I have a meme in all of my. And I like every game I play. If there's any sort of character customization, I go with a ninja, just because I watched Naruto growing up. It's like a meme that I've just continued, and I'm like, oh, that's sick. It's like a samurai, close enough.
Would you buy a Naruto run emote for Halo Infinite?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Did you put on cat ears in Naruto run through Big Team Battle with an energy sword?
No, dude, it's unfortunate because I didn't know this was before. Like, I don't. Maybe I just wasn't privy to it. But there's no cross-core customization, which to me is still so.
Supposedly, I've heard they're phasing that out. I don't know how that works though.
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be weird. But Fracture Tenrai, I was like, dude, that's so hype. Like my favorite armor in all of Halo is Mark V, and I'm like, throw Mark V on like a cool like suit of like a samurai armor. And maybe have like some sort of like fur or something around. I'm like, that looks so rad in my head. And then you just can't. Can't. So now I'm just like a Mark V Zeta, which is just like a hamburger Mark V.
I'm also Mark V Zeta right now.
And I have fucking cat ears and
well, I'm without the cat ears, but I hear you.
Dude, the cat ears, I saw that and I'm like, that's fucking goofy. I am buying that, and I bought it immediately. I was like, yeah, there's no shot I'm missing out on that. It is a
little goofy. I was considering buying it just again for the sake of it looks kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I bought it.
Like that was just Welcome to the Halo podcast.
At this point, dude, that is one thing. I
could talk about Halo again at length. This could be a 5-hour podcast of purely about Halo related content, and I could carry the conversation.
I think that I don't know. I have very varied opinions on all of the MCC and Infinite, but I'm trying to find a natural segue to the next topic, which I don't know what that would even be.
Well, Master Chief just
That's same topic.
Halo, oranges. You guys like fruits at all?
You like apples, Zach?
Actually, I'm a big fan of apples. Yes.
Okay, good. I have a friend that doesn't like apples.
Yeah,
just straight up does not like apples.
Redacted.
Yeah,
my
redacted.
friend.
I can't.
My friend.
Yeah. My redacted. Yeah. He does not like apples. Tell me that's not like you can press charges for
insane.
that, right?
I feel like though I would want to learn more about the specifics.
You can't.
Of why they don't like apples. Because there's like 100 different type of apples. You getting them a red delicious or something that mealy as fuck.
Dude,
red delicious apples, gross. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, red delicious are the worst apples for sure.
You need like a Gala. You need like a Granny Smith.
Gala sounds like a slur. I don't even know what that is.
You need a Fuji.
You ever had one of those big Honey Crisps? Like the size of your fucking head.
You guys are saying words I don't understand. I just eat apple. That's all I do. I just eat apple.
You eat what, dude?
Asshole. Sounds
like a slur.
True. He doesn't like apple, right? Which is automatic. Like just like red flag. Like don't be around that guy, right? He also doesn't like applesauce or apple pie.
Why? We don't have.
Yeah, I'm this man's. I'm this man's antithesis. So I have this weird character trait about me. Here's the let's go around and tell everyone a fun fact about themselves moment. Yeah. I actually don't like cake. Like I'm like pretty anti-cake. I'm not a.
Have you had a Gala cake though?
What's a Gala?
I'm building to a Gala cake. Surprisingly enough, that might fit well into this conversation. I like some cakes as I've gotten older. The more denser, moister, perhaps even moussier cakes I've enjoyed, but just like a straight like box cake is just never my thing. And even like some of the premium cakes I'm like about. But the whole point about this is for my birthday every year, I get an apple pie because apple is like one of my favorite flavors.
Apple's
apple pie filling thing is one of my favorite flavors. But to answer your question about a Gala cake, one time my mother commissioned from like an artisan baker a apple pie filling filled cake. So
apple pie filling filled cake. What the
It was like she did like because I also like coffee cake a lot. So like the cake base was like a coffee cake type thing.
Oh, that could
and
be
it was
really
like
good.
layered with like apple pie filling, and that was my birthday cake.
Apple pie filling. Wait, what is apple? Isn't that just apple? What am I? Am I
it
dumb?
is apple, but it's perhaps reduced down in the brown sugar cinnamon slurry, and it was more of a minced apple than a full sliced.
That made my brain melt. I was like, what is in? Okay, that makes more sense now. So what is Gala? What is Gala?
I gotta be out of this. Before
I wish I had like a Joe Mama response to what is Gala, but I'm not smart enough to think of anything. There's definitely something there.
It's just a type of apple, but I hate pie crust. I like pie fillings.
Fair.
But I just
there's so little the pie crust to filling ratio is.
Yeah, but I still eat around the pie crust. It's kind of like a whole. I remember in college, some of my dorm mates wanted to make me an apple pie because I like apple and I didn't really eat that much cake. And so I'm like, no, I don't actually want a pie. We all went apple picking, and I will just eat the apples. And they're like, no, we'll make you a pie. And they got angry.
I like the idea of you refusing a pie. You push back on the pie, and these people hold you down and force the pie.
It literally, I could call my roommate from this time and be like, hey, do you remember when you guys force fed me an apple pie? And they didn't like hold me down and force feed it, but like they baked it to me.
Funny.
Baked it for me, and I ate the filling and didn't eat the crust at all. And they got so angry with me. Like a bunch of people on floor were like, "What a jackass!" And I'm like, "It's my birthday, asshole! It's my fucking birthday."
It's a little rude to insult the birthday boy for sure.
That is true. The birthday boy.
I'm glad finally someone is on my side.
Yeah, no, dude. You can't be.
You're lucky it was
that.
Your birthday.
Yeah.
This was an average Wednesday. I don't know. I'd have to reevaluate my position.
You mean if we all went apple picking and on that day they were like, "Oh, Sean, we'll make you your own pie," and I said, "No, I don't want you to make me my own pie," and they still made it, I would still be in the wrong. because it's not my birthday.
Yes. I just love this scenario of you being like, please don't make me a pie. Like, we will make you a pie. Like, this is an oddly specific scenario.
I thought it was like a dream. This is fucking insane.
Are we Lattice fans or the other one? The
crumble.
The crumble. Yeah, are we Lattice or crumble?
I have to say, Lattice is the easiest to eat around, and I just don't like the crust. So
yeah, Lattice, but I feel like the crumble kind of melts and dissolves and solidifies into its own thing that I feel like tastes better and textually is superior than a lattice crust. But the lattice looks pretty. So.
It does look pretty. But I'm a lattice guy myself. I must say, I'm definitely a lattice guy. The crumbly bangs.
Iceberg or romaine?
Are you on team #lattice or team #crumble?
Wait, can we just pause? What the fuck did you just say, Sean? What does that mean? What did you just say?
You said you're a lattice guy, and I said iceberg or romaine. Lettuce.
That's so stupid. That's so fucking dumb. Okay, so I think this is going to be the first and last episode with Sean here. That's crazy, actually. What were you saying? Before that threw me off so hard. That threw me off so
apples?
hard.
I think we were talking about.
This whole conversation was revolving around Gala apples.
But is it Gala or Kayla?
Gala, Gala.
Gala. I think it's also pronounced Gala. I thought the proper pronunciation was Gala, but
I was pretty sure it's Gala.
I was pretty sure it's Gala too, but people definitely say Gala.
Yeah, there's Red Delicious, Yellow Golden Delicious, Granny Smith. Gala,
we're gonna do Apple tier list.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, so the first half of this podcast is Halo Infinite, so we lost like 90% of your audience, and then the second half purely revolves around ranking apples, and then we've lost all of those people too.
So I gotta say, I've never my sometimes I get a bag of apples. I don't even question what they are. I just eat them.
Haley and I have had this discussion before. I get my own apples because Haley likes Red Delicious. I cannot eat Red Delicious. I will literally.
Red Delicious is the worst type of apple to be.
I will literally let those rot before I eat them, and then I'm like, "Fuck, I have to eat them now." So I buy Granny Smith, and she buys Red Delicious.
I'm also a Granny Smith fan. I think you would have to if you had Red Delicious apples. This is now a life hack podcast. If you had Red Delicious apples and they were going bad, I would reduce it down into an apple sauce or some kind of apple because it's the texture of the Red Delicious apple that's disgusting. It's a mealy.
Is that the one? Is that the one you're talking about? The mushy one, right? It's not like the big crunchy bitch. Okay. Yeah. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I hate those too. I'll eat it. I just those are the least favorite.
I will avoid it at all costs.
But who would favor that over something else, though? That's such a weird thing.
Talk to this guy.
It's not worth having an argument. I'll tell you, it's not worth having an argument over.
Imagine getting a divorce over Red Delicious apples.
I have.
Imagine a scene from Marriage Story where Adam Driver's punching the wall, but he's like, I don't want to eat your fucking Red Delicious apples.
That's the movie where he does that really incredible acting scene, but it's also a massive meme. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah. I've never actually watched the movie, but I've definitely seen the scene because it was memed so hard.
It's crazy how in that movie the lightsaber split in 3.
Yeah, it was actually
I feel like that was not canon at all.
Oh, was that? I forgot. I think I got my movies mixed up. Wasn't Rey his wife or something? And it was a domestic violence scene when they were lightsaber battling.
And then one of them disappeared at the end or something. Yeah, it was really weird. I just love. So I don't know if you are aware, Zach. Sean has ADHD. Sorry, dude. HIPAA violation right there. I have I've never been diagnosed. I guess I've never been diagnosed for it. But I assume
that I was as a kid, but I stopped taking medication for it.
I assume that I have the same, but Sean and I kind of just work off of word association. Only that's why the lattice joke and that's why the Adam Driver joke. They were just immediate. Exactly what he's talking about. You just have to get the fuck away. So that'll be a pattern that we will be seeing. I'm cringe.
I'm cringe.
When I was doing YouTube, when I was doing Cagdo, I would always I'd hate listening to myself talk about the future because I didn't know what actually was going to happen. I think it's just a weird personal thing that I have an issue with.
I'm the opposite. When I was younger and I would make content, I would constantly talk about shit in the future, or like even worse, like political thoughts and random stuff like that. Yeah. Or like my sense of humor was just not like cool. On a few different levels. Interpret that how you want to. And then looking back on all of that stuff, I'm like, man, how wrong was I?
It's very interesting. I had an idea where I was gonna like, and I don't know if this is even a good idea, but I'll just bounce it off you guys. So this was like maybe last year. Because I have ideas for content and I just never go through with it. I mean, one for 30,000 right here. But I had an idea where I would just kind of wring out my dirty laundry and be like, yeah, I kind of used to be a dickhead and I used to say some stupid shit. But like, if I ever have any sort of following, I would like them to know that what these like off.
I've had similar thoughts too.
Yeah. But I
don't know if.
All right, go. Action.
I said.
Okay, you want to just do it in a list? Yeah, I don't know. I've had similar thoughts too, where like certainly a lot of the stuff I said online when I was younger is like incredibly like just fucked up and not okay, and stuff I just don't agree with now. Whether it be like that was just offensive or more of like I just don't agree with that, or like in either direction. And I've thought about that too. Like it would probably be better and serve me better in the future if I just like was in front of that and like owned up to it. But also it's like, what a fun piece of content idea of like, hey, you don't know me, no one ever watches, like I don't have an audience or anything, but let me tell you everything messed up that I did right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna watch this guy. His first piece of content was let me tell you how awful I am.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, there are, because I get like weird YouTube algorithmic like suggestions, and like I'll get like a video that's like 1 million views, and it's like the title is "I have no friends" or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I mean, like I have friends, but like I get the concept of that video is the person like kind of reaching out to the internet, and the internet like responds back. But I feel like if I ever made a video, it would have to literally be like, hey, I've said some really fucked shit. Fucked up, and then it would be 1 million views, but then I would have like people outside the door like throwing rocks at my window.
I don't think you'd have people outside your door throwing rocks at the window. not from one quick YouTube video. If you hid from it forever, there's got to be some kind of like way to play it like it's like a like you're dating someone, right? Like you don't just lead off the bat like, hey. Like you don't hit up someone at like a bar being like, hey, like these are all of my problems. Like that's not but like you do have to be upfront about it and honest about it, and like I don't know, it's just relationships with humans. Like I think it's there's an interesting dance that needs to be worked there.
I want to hear this is thematically my idea, and it's I think it's a pretty funny idea. It was a video, it was a series, it would be a series called Talking Shit. And I would be sitting on the toilet with my pants down, with this mic in my hand, just being like,
I immediately know I should tell you,
just being like,
as a friend of yours,
just being like, when I was 13, I had a video series where I said bad words that I would not say now, and obviously that did not. I didn't do it clearly.
The thing is, like that would honestly be very funny as a parody. But the problem is,
I'm the original. I'm the OG.
But that's the thing. Like it would be hilarious if you were like doing the apology videos. Like the title would be like "I fucked up," and then it'd be like shit.
I just don't think it's a good omen. I just don't think it's a good look. No, I'm going to start my career with an apology video.
It's a very bad omen.
Like you're already starting off so far downhill as to do that thing where it's like black and white, and you have to be like I don't know what to say. I'm so you're like that is how it starts. Like I don't think any successful career has started with like
start with the
I got to apologize for everything.
Yeah.
You look at the camera, you go. I never thought I have to make this video or something. The classic apology.
What was that video all the celebrities did? Was it for COVID? Where it's like all in black and white, and it was like the celebrities. Maybe all the celebrities were like crying. I forget what that was about, but like, everyone made fun of it.
Song, right?
It was COVID. They were singing some.
Yes, they were singing "Imagine." Yes. Very funny. Yeah, it's a very funny video.
Right, exactly.
It just needs to be different cuts of yourself in black and white singing Imagine, and just for like 3 minutes, the full song, all the way through. And at the very end, it's just like, I want to apologize for saying the N-word back in 2013.
Right, exactly. No, my thought process with it though was more like, and I'm gonna like kind of fuck myself saying this if anything ever does come of anything, but like in like 10 years, if I have a following, then my Discord, or not I've been pretty clean since I got Discord, but like my I don't know, kick logs from 2015 or 2014 were somehow leaked, I'd be like, chill.
To be honest, yeah, I was gonna say, to be honest, it would just be another white guy on the internet kind of thing. Like it just
a Joji Filthy Frank arc where like, dude, you made the most vile content on the internet, and now you're getting like stanned by like 13-year-old white girls on Twitter.
Yeah, you're like saving squirrels.
True. Were you aware, Zach, that I don't know.
I'm never aware of anything, by the way.
Okay, so like
I'm the most oblivious, dumbass, just cretin. Yeah,
cretin. Okay, what does cretin? What does cretin mean?
Cretin's like a filthy slug ruggy like a cretin is
waiting for you to slip up and say something you shouldn't.
I can do the apology video again right after this. Yeah. No, a cretin is just another thing of being like a degenerate. Degenerate.
Yeah. What if you had an entire account where you'd apologize and at the very end say something fucked up? So
and then apologize in the next video. That would be good. That would be a good series.
It's just a compounding like.
What was I saying? Oh, were you aware that sorry, I forgot the cretin thing.
Yeah.
Last year, maybe 2 years ago, TikTokers were trying to cancel Joji because they figured out that he was Filthy Frank.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
I saw this on Twitter and not TikTok, but yeah, it's very funny.
Fucking hilarious.
I mean, I get it. There's like a certain arc you take as like a fan of something where it's like, oh, I know a little bit about this thing, surface level understanding. Okay, I know a little bit about their lives. And then like, if you really into the artist, eventually you just deep dive into everything. It was bound to happen at some.
Yeah, it only takes
people still don't know. I still hear about people discovering this about Joji to this day. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it was around the same time they were trying to cancel Eminem for what he was saying back in like 2004, and I'm like, yeah, wrong guy to go after. He doesn't really give a fuck at this point. It's been like 18 years.
I mean, he's apologized for it. Not that it was ever right. Not that it was ever right in the first place, but
the thing is like it's hard too, because like obviously they have a right to be upset, and they should be upset, but it's also the case that it doesn't do anything, and so it's hard to like you give it the empathy and the compassion of like, yeah, it is fucked up that he said this or whatever, but I don't like my Twitter is very like, if I see something even remotely political, I just unfollow or like don't show me this, or that's what I do with YouTube too, because at this point it's like it's more distractionary. I will get lost on like a Chapo Trap House like subreddit or something eventually. Like give me an hour and I'll be.
I literally just tweeted today that I forget what it was verbatim, but it was like Twitter is the worst place to get caught up in other people's opinions, because it really just is. Yeah. I've been having a lot of conversations with people regarding, I don't want to use the word cancel culture because that's definitely like a red flag. Someone complaining about cancel culture is a red flag for like, oh, you're insecure about something for sure. Yeah. But like, I've been having conversations with people a lot about this because I feel like some of the music I've been listening to that comes out has been revolving around a lot of these themes. But like, there's a line that I'm not quite sure where I sit on in between, like accepting people for growing and like learning and understanding and trying to change themselves to be better, but then also like holding people accountable and like not putting like really shitty people up on pedestals. And, obviously there's extremes on either side where it's like, yeah, very clearly don't support this. Like that's incredibly fucked up. Obviously not. And then there's the other side of it too, where it's like, okay, you're obviously taking this thing too far.
Yeah.
But like a lot of this lays in like kind of a gray area where it's like, yeah, but like, where do we kind of stand with like, allowing people to like be themselves and like grow and develop as people?
Well, also like I tend to view it as like, I mean, I've seen like Twitch plays Pokemon, and I tend to view like Twitter.
What happened in Twitch plays Pokemon? What did I miss out on?
Connection break.
What I mean by that is like there's this like I can be watching and I'm like, oh, I actually really want him to go left first. But it doesn't matter how much I spam left. The Twitch will tell him to go up, left, right, or whatever. And so I tend to feel like I have a lot of, I've been, over the past year, I've been like really like reevaluating my own like mental energy and what I can put that to. And I just do not have it to like make sure that a celebrity that I like isn't racist. Like it's just like because I can't change that in the sense that like okay, so I stopped. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Bill Burr because I like Bill Burr as a comedian, but like I don't even buy his tickets because I don't have money. Like it just like there's nothing. It's just like I like the way to make things better is to be nicer to the people around you. And like sure, if like a friend of mine or if I get called out, like it's important to be like, oh yeah, that is fucked up. But like that's kind of like the best you can do.
I do think it's important to take accountability for yourself first and foremost. I think there's a lot of really good the points that you made there about that, about like, there's you can't change. I mean, obviously make your opinion be heard, like feedback and public support does change things. I don't want to pretend like it doesn't, but at the same time too, you can't get yourself personally invested in those things. You can only control what's in your like close vicinity, and everyone has the ability to like make an impact like day to day, but like holding yourself accountable for stuff like that too is also like super important. I feel like most people think that they're not the problem. Most people think that they're not the problem until like they're confronted with the idea of them being a problem, and then they get very defensive. There's a comedian, I forget who it was, it may have been Shane Gillis, I don't know, but he had this whole bit that I saw on like a TikTok clip or something where he was like, being racist isn't like a thing that you are, it's a thing that you do. It's like you could not be racist for like a whole time, and then all of a sudden there was a more comedic bit to it, but I thought it was a really interesting bit that he had.
It's there's like levels to it to me. I don't like I don't keep talking about cancel culture, and then that 10 years from now we're gonna
white guys got in his Discord call and started talking about cancel culture.
So that's why I'm like weird about talking about it. But I don't like when a creator is canceled for something that they watched like 10 years ago. If they watched a certain YouTuber that was a bit edgy, like a Filthy Frank, and then like,
oh, you're saying if someone just simply watched or consumed another person?
You saw that?
I did see that.
What the hell? What the fuck? That's like a big look at those big mosquitoes.
Dude, bees are trying to cancel you right now, dude.
Holy shit! Yeah, dude, that's a sign. I'm that's what's the hell?
But you're just saying that like someone's trying to like cancel someone over like the content that they consumed.
Yeah, it's like especially like years and years ago. It just annoys the shit out of me. I mean,
I think there is definitely like I personally feel like there are better ways to change people's minds than to be like. I mean, I don't want to say it like that because I think it's important. I do think it is legitimately important. Like if you're on Twitter and someone's like, hey, we should all vote for X. And someone's like, well, actually, I have these like logs that they say the N-word a lot. That kind of thing. Yeah. And then I think it's important to air that out. I think it's also important to be like, because like this kind of thing happened with like Bernie. And I think it's a big double-edged sword that I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to that I get worried about is, and not cancel culture, but I mean like specifically, I think that's in general, like negative opinions can be weaponized. And I just get really cautious if someone tells me anything like particularly negative about someone, unless I already agree with that, obviously.
I'm literally about to start, like, I don't know. It's not necessarily political opinions because I follow people on Twitter that I like politically, and it's fine. I enjoy it, and I see stuff all the time that I disagree with, and I'm fine, and I can handle it. But Twitter's becoming like an increasingly like annoying place to be with like people on both, even people I agree with. I'm pissed off these days. Like people like that, like are like representing ideas that I support that are just assholes about it, or just are like right in the most wrong way possible, where I'm like, I just can't, like, I just would rather be going for a walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But somehow I'm still doom scrolling Twitter anyways. It's a problem.
Well, that's the thing. What's really important is like, yes, sure, like retweet, like being the millionth retweeter of like a pro road
with a free iPad.
But like, sure that could help. But like, I'm not going to the. I'm just not that I don't want to or whatever. I've been to. I did go to like a few protests early on in like 2019 or 2020, but I'm not going to that now. Just as a matter of fact, and that's really where it gets won. So like, if I see protesters on Twitter being like, this guy's an asshole, I'll like it or retweet it. But if I know someone I went to school with is just being like, fuck these people, like I'm not really gonna retweet that or anything like that, because I don't know, I don't feel like stuff like that really matters. I feel like if people are actively acting on it, it matters. But I don't know, I get so disillusioned because I know I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm becoming decreasingly likely to just like outspokenly talk about like politics too. You can find old.
Mute your fucking mic with that shit.
Wait,
Sean, you pussy.
Mom, girlfriend, sister.
No, that's Haley, my girlfriend, and this is my cat.
Hi, Haley. Everyone in chat say hi to Haley. There's no chat here, but everyone in the comments say hi
right now.
This is Haley. Right?
We're live on chatterbait.xxx. I was saying that I'm feeling decreasingly likely to like verbally talk about like my political opinions in a public space like this. Not because I don't have them. I literally helped work on the like production team, volunteer for like the political like candidate that I supported last election. It's public information. You can find it on my website, but like I'm not going to like talk about it. I also protested a few things in the last year as well too. But like, I don't know, again, going back and like consuming a lot of my old content, I'm like, man, I did not know what the fuck I was talking about like at all. And it makes me realize I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about now either. I'm just some dude. I like to make people laugh, and I like to think I'm not stupid and smart enough to make a good point here and there. But like I don't pretend to have the answers to these things anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm actually a genius. I have all the answers.
Yeah, that's true actually.
You ever watched you know who Brandon Wardell is?
No.
He's a comedian. He has a really funny bit on like why it's hard to have sex as a genius. He's just too smart for sex. I recommend the bit.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, Sean.
Segueing in, buddy. I think there's a guy who worked on like the Bernie campaign. I think it was like in 2020 for the 2020 election that like went kind of haywire, where he was making like funny ads for the Bernie campaign, or they made one or whatever. And then he did like this whole phone banking thing where he was calling. He somehow got a hold of the Biden call list and started calling Biden supporters and was like trying to convince them to vote for Bernie. And like the live chat was like, please stop. This is really fucked up. Like you just stole people's phone numbers and are harassing them. And he's like,
I did not hear about this story, and I was pretty tuned into the Bernie campaign.
Yeah, let me look up his name.
Yeah,
Zachary Marshall.
Just you the whole time. I honestly didn't give a shit about. I mean, I'm going to leave it here because I'm a dumb fuck when it comes to politics. I mean,
me too.
To the point where I follow.
I feel like I'm educated, but also I know I'm stupid enough to like not like be the guy to talk about that. Yeah.
The only political people I follow on Twitter, which is my main social media, are people that I like as far as their content goes. Like, not so much their political content, but like their features and stuff. Like I follow Hassan. I don't listen to the shit that he says on Twitter.
Hassan's a funny guy.
Yeah.
His name was Matt Orfalia. Ooh. Matt.
Like like apostrophe Orfalia?
No, it's O-R
less cool.
F-A-L-A-E.
Is that
less
Irish?
Cool. I have no idea.
Look it up. Just make him do all the research.
This is I don't know how anyone would ever feel about this ever, but look, I'll say I've when the Donald Trump's Twitter was active, that was the funniest Twitter account of all time. It was very funny. It was I did not agree with it at all, but like it was very funny to be like, holy shit, he said that.
I don't know who I heard this from. But there was somebody who said the only reason I wish Donald Trump was still in office was because his Twitter was such good content.
You know how like England has like a queen and a king, but they don't
might have a queen.
Shit. We'll see. How they're supposed to have a king or a queen, but they don't do anything. They're just there to look pretty and to say stupid stuff. But then the prime minister in parliament does all the work.
Yeah.
It would feed his ego so much, but like we could just name him King and have him do
That's really smart.
Nothing. It would piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
I would hate it too, but just give him a Twitter account and just give him the title and don't allow him to touch anything.
Oh, that's great. He's like the icon of America. That's such a good idea. That's so cool. No, dude,
I think we'd still probably get an insurrection. Still get an insurrection. I'm not sure.
We would. But here's the thing: we'd build him a castle, but like nowhere where anyone cares, in like Nebraska, like just somewhere where like no one's
like Oklahoma.
Shit, Trump Castle, in Gary, Indiana. It's just like no one's gonna.
Who would guard that place though? Like who would be the like you know how
the
like
Three Stooges? I don't fucking know. Just slipping and tripping. Dude, we're going way back. Do you remember that guy that almost killed, was it Obama, by just running into the White House?
The guy that set himself on fire?
Oh, no, no.
The guy who set himself on fire was Trump. What?
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but the guy was protesting. Ben, you're thinking of the guy who was protesting Trump and he set himself on fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Zach is referring to a guy who came, like, he just got into the White House. Like
you would think, okay, so before we get too much in this story, you would think, right, if you climbed over the fence and ran on the White House lawn, you would be dead within a minute. That's like your perception, right? Or
yeah,
if you like just tackled something.
You've been to DC before, right? I assume.
Yeah, I live near DC for a while. Yeah.
There's like a big yard.
Yes,
and then there's the house, and there's like a big fence, and they're like, "Don't fucking touch that fence."
Yeah,
you would think if you weren't shot, you would think you would be tackled. Like, there's no way you're even touching the door. Yeah. That's what most people think, right? Guy climbs this is during Obama, I think. Guy climbs the fence, runs all the way to the White House lawn. I think he thinks maybe he's committing suicide or something. I don't know the story. I don't know his intentions of the story. I mean, but like he gets to the door and he opens it, and the door's unlocked to the White House. And so he runs in, and he would think he would get tackled the second he opens the door to the White House. He doesn't. He runs all the way down the hall and up the stairs. He's on the second floor of the White House before he finally gets tackled by a female staffer. Big props to her. Great day on the job. I think the only reason why she was there too was she was like going on break or something like that as well too. I don't know, but like the idea of like the door wasn't locked and no one was watching was just very. I don't know.
That's really fucking crazy because I've been to DC twice when I was very young. I say very young. I was like 12, 13.
I was there last year.
And the fence. There are people that watch and they're like, "Don't fucking touch that fence. Don't go near that fence." Or at least when I was there, they don't touch that fence.
When I was there in 8th grade, they had like you could see guards standing on different. I don't know if it was the White House, but like at certain buildings, and they're like just had guns. And the teacher, I was in the special needs group because of the ADD thing. That pissed me off. That's a whole different story.
I had a few reasons for that, but go ahead.
But they literally would like. Do you remember the guidance counselor? Oh, you weren't there for that long, Ben. We went to the same school for like he went there for like half a year. But we had a the guidance counselor was in charge of the special needs group. I maintain that was the biggest insult that I've ever received because I was there was like James. Or I shouldn't say his last name. You can edit that.
Oh yeah.
He had like actual schizophrenia. There was a kid with like full autism, like just like he could not communicate with other people. Like he had to like write stuff down. And then there was me, and I was just like, hold on, wait a minute. This guy JW has been drawing guns in the corner. Can we fucking talk about that? Anyway, they like kept my group like specifically away from those buildings because they thought like I would fuck around and get shot. And I'm like, fair, but
yeah, I was gonna say,
kid with ADD was gonna scale the White House lawn.
No, dude. Oh my god. Speaking of what you had just said, Sean, tangent, but maybe it'll segue into another topic. So we did go to the same middle school for half a year, but we went to the same high school the entire time. Sean and I.
Wait, just so you know, it's 11:40. I didn't know if there was like.
I just had it until we get bored. Like that's the time. If you want to fuck off, Sean, if you want to fuck off, Sean, if anybody, I don't care. Anyway, so when I was in high school, I was in it's just basically an art class. It was senior year, and I know that you probably know where I'm going with this, Sean. And I did not try. I didn't try senior year at all. Like senior years. I don't know. I didn't try
all of high school. It was a miracle. I even made it through.
Made it through.
Yeah.
I was useless throughout all of high school, all of senior year, and I had this art class, and I was with a buddy of mine, and I had done it was like a collage, but it was supposed to be like artistic, and I just threw shit on there, like nothing, and over time, and then I showed it off, and I got an A minus, and then my buddy showed it off, and he got a C plus, and his was infinitely better, and I'm like, that's very interesting. Maybe I'm just I had more charisma because I had to present it. I was like, maybe I have more charisma presenting it, and over time, I slowly realize, holy shit, she thinks I am mentally retarded. The teacher thinks I'm mentally retarded.
Like Kevin from The Office.
Right. I got an A plus. I got an A plus the first half of that semester. Second half of that semester, I had an F because she realized I wasn't, which is so fucking funny. It was like instantaneous because I just did everything horribly. I didn't really follow any directions, and we had it. I don't know about how it works when you went to school. I think this is general.
A few different places, yeah.
But I think generally, if you are not able to sit and do the classes, you get A pluses anyway. And she was just giving me A pluses for everything for the first half. When I guess I had a great ruse up, and I thought I was gonna actually, because I saw I had an F, and I was like, fuck, do I have to take summer school on my senior year? But I guess they averaged the A plus and the F to I think I had to straight C by the end of it.
I had
hilarious.
You know what? Go on. No, you can go.
I was gonna talk about I had a odd high school experience because I moved halfway through high school, right? So I've lived in 8 or 9 different places growing up. So it's just I was all over the place. But I moved from Maryland all the way out to Arizona midway through high school, and there's a lot of pros and cons to that. A con being a pro and a con for one was I skipped algebra and went to geometry, but then they move you over to a higher level algebra class where I just flunked, and they put me in a remedial class that was not quite special ed, but it was in the special ed building. Yeah. So I knew a few of those. I knew a few of those people in a similar situation. But I was going to talk about I had this German class. So in Maryland, you're supposed to take your foreign language class towards the end of your high school curriculum, and in Arizona, they want you to take it at the beginning for whatever reason. So I already taken a year or two of high school, get to Arizona, and they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just put you in the end, and you'll be with a bunch of freshmen in your senior year in this class. I get to this German class, and all these kids are just rambunctious. They're just yelling at each other, just being class clowns all the time. And I'm just in the back on my phone, and this German teacher is the strictest teacher you've ever seen. Constantly taking kids' phones away and yelling at them, and then every time they're just what about Zach? He's right there on his phone, and I just would not give a shit. I just barely did anything. There was one time where we were supposed to write an essay in German about the German population in a different country or something, and I picked Latvia, but I didn't do it at all. I just straight up I just didn't do it. I did a bunch of other projects. I speak a little bit of German, but I did not do this project. A teacher's going around, and I just hear him going F0, F0, F0. And he gives a few people some actual grades, but you get the point. He's giving a lot of people zeros and just flying. He gets to me, and he goes, Zach, where's your paper? And I said, look, I'm sorry. I thought I had it up here. Obviously, I didn't send it to myself. Is there any way I can get this to you tomorrow or something? And he goes, I trust that you did it. And he gives me 100%. And then he gives the person next to me a 0.
That's
and I was
awesome.
I was I'm not caring.
How did you get away with that? Did you actually end up doing it?
No.
We got the 100?
Yeah. I got 100% of the project I didn't do.
That's fucking awesome.
Because he just trusted me.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, it was again, I did learn a bit from his class. And again, my grandmother, excuse me, my grandmother spoke a bit of German, so it's something I know a little bit about. But like, again, I was a senior. Everyone else, they was freshmen. I didn't know anyone. They were all like yelling at each other and constantly being rambunctious in their own way. And I would just sit in the back, just like on Reddit threads on my phone, like not even giving a shit and not doing work. I didn't do homework at all. There was not a single day I did homework in high school. So
yeah, dude. Sorry, Sean, you've been trying to say something for so long. Go ahead.
You ever like miss? We had history together, right? Or did we not?
Wasn't it civics?
Was that civics? I don't know. She taught us a bunch of stupid ass. Miss is a whole different story too. She's an awful teacher, but she got mad at me. She knew me because I also did not do work in high school, and she said, I forget, but she mentioned like Miss Liera. She was like, Miss told me that you don't do any homework, and I just want you to know you will not pass my class if you don't do any homework. And I passed her class with a 60.4.
Oh my god, dude.
So she's it was a D- because an F is 60, and I literally was like, "Can you sign this for me?" And like I was like, she gave me like the full transcript, and I was like, "Can you sign this for me,
dude?" So for me, I went to private school up until high school, so I was already, and I realized at the time I was one of those like annoying private school kids. You know what I mean? That talk about how much smarter they are. I was totally like that back when I was like 14.
Oh yeah, I hated Ben.
Oh my god, so many good stories. But for my freshman and sophomore year, I tried to be I have like a stick stuck up my ass. I wasn't like an uptight dude, but I was very I did my homework. I did whatever. And then junior year, it was like, and then senior year is just fucking flatlined. I did not do anything in senior year, which is so great. But I wanted to actually, Sean, can you tell one of the stories about your hatred for me, just real quick? I love hearing them.
Well, just the very first one. No, actually, this wouldn't have been the first story because we hung out during the bridge program too. But freshmen, normally at our high school, gym class was for freshmen. The point is, like, so there was gym class and then there was health class. Because I remember Andrew always had gym and never had health.
Yeah, he fucked up. Yeah,
that was a whole thing. But so Ben and I had like literally from day one. So our school had this bridge program to bridge you from 8th grade into high school for a week, and then school started. And so Ben and we didn't really hang out during much during bridge. We had like one lunch together, and then we were in different groups. But then from day one, we had gym class together. And I think I saw like a Naruto thing because I really like Naruto, and I think you might have had like a Naruto.
I think I had some mangas or something. Yeah,
you might have made a reference or had a manga or something. So I started talking to you, and the only jokes he fucking made were like poop jokes, and I was so
nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Nothing about Naruto. Every time I had tried to have a conversation, he would turn it into. He talked about fisting a dead horse.
Oh my god! Yeah, the lightning blade. Yeah.
The lightning, and I was so pissed that like maybe like a week into school, freshman year, I was like, "You're such an annoying fucking dude. Like you're not even funny," and I'm just like screaming at him. And then maybe like 2 more weeks in the gym, we're still talking. Like and then we've been good friends ever since.
There was a funny time where I just kept going like this, like doing like the funny pee-pee and vagina. I kept doing this with my hands, and he would be like, "Stop fucking doing that!" And I just go like this. He would get so mad.
Just like off the wall.
Nothing's changed, dude. Nothing has changed.
Serious. I was like, "You have no jokes."
I don't. I still don't. Actually, it's kind of crazy that I don't have any jokes.
We can wrap this up here in a moment, but I do want to say on the topic of bad teachers again, though, that you had you would unlock the core memory in my mind of my substitute teacher in high school that was a massive Holocaust denier.
Great.
Yeah, awesome. Loved her working with children.
At least she knows.
Well, I mean, it was in high school, so we were all like old enough to like recognize like, hey, yo, this bitch crazy.
Yeah,
but like, she was a revolving substitute teacher. So like every now and then it'd be like 3 times a year you would come in and it'd be like, oh shoot, we got that sub today. And everyone knew exactly what buttons to press with her to get her to talk about the Holocaust. She had no filter. I have no clue how this woman kept a job. I don't know why no one ever like sat in on her to like listen to one of her classes and to make sure she was doing okay. She looked like a ghost, some long-haired, pale white hair, just old woman. And like she would just try to teach a class for a while, and then like kids would like just ask her enough questions about like, it would start off being like, what about this about history or something? I forget the exact chain of events, and then it would slowly devolve into like, yeah, and don't you have some like opinions on like World War II or something? And then she would go off and you would not do any work the whole class. Like I was kind of uninvolved in the gamifying of this woman's horrible conspiracy theories. But like it was just, I remember that being the funniest thing as a kid. Just like I would walk in and see her in the room, and I would just immediately know like I'm about to listen to like an hour worth of like Holocaust denial conspiracy theories.
But the thing about it, truthfully, is that like that's fucking funny, right?
Oh, it was very funny. Even as a kid, I was like, "This shit's very funny." Yeah. I was like, "It's like I get to watch like a really bad YouTube video almost."
Like, yeah, and you think I like in my, at least in my mind, when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, it probably sounds like a grandpa just being like an annoying, just being like." When I was a kid, that I know it didn't happen. Like with those people.
When I was a kid, it was 6,000. Now it's 6 million.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
Right, exactly. No,
it's Thanksgiving.
I had a friend, dude. I had a friend. What was it? What did he say? You know who I'm talking about, Sean? He had a whole opinion on slavery and how nobody actually wanted it to go away. And I'm like, don't know if that's the case, but can't confirm or deny. I guess I can't deny. That sounds a little crazy. And it was always just fun to listen to because it was always just so like fucking far-fetched.
Yeah, he had this whole thing in Spanish class, same kid. In Spanish class, our teacher was from Venezuela. She was from South America. Mm-hmm. And he had a problem with her calling it South America. And she's like, oh, the United States of America is in North America that shares it with 3 countries, and then there's a bunch of countries in South America. It's the continent. And he's like, no, this is America. and she was like,
person from Venezuela is saying that?
No, this kid.
Okay. No, the kid, yeah.
But she has no idea how to handle it.
I thought I was talking about German in Germany earlier, and you brought up like Venezuela and like Argentina. I thought this conversation was going somewhere else.
Yeah. So she's like, I do not know how to handle this because like this is Spanish. Same class. Some girl asked if Niagara Falls was in South America. Yep. So that's what we were. So
that's what we're working with, and that's actually the #1 magnet school of America of like 2015 or something like that. So that's great.
Yeah.
So all right. I mean, I guess we can wrap it up here. I don't know how to like wrap something up though. Someone take it away.
Apple, orange, banana. Apple, orange, banana. Pick one.
Apple.
I have
apple.
I have banana every day, so I'll just pick banana. I don't have banana.
It's banana
every day.
Apple. Yeah.
Yeah. Apple's good.
No orange fans here. All right, that's good.
I do. I will tell you that if there's oranges, I'll eat them all in one go.
Oh yeah, same here. I'm the same way.
Those little clementine things can get in my fucking belly, dude.
All right,
I can fucking get all up in here, dude. Those little clementine bitches, they can get all up in my belly, man.
I do have one quick.
Like, going in the belly. Fucking 23.
Yeah, dude.